Hello everyone and welcome back to what we're on now, part 4 of the e-bike series. Got some exciting mods coming up today that I've done. I can't show you the bike because I'm filming this afterwards. So let's get straight into what I've done so far. It is. And what we have here is a seat for the e-bike. This is basically a motorcycle seat. So yeah, woo. So that's where it attaches to the bike. That feels quite comfy. And you've got space at the back for stuff like tail lights and all that. So that's where things will be mounted. So let's get it installed. Right, so this is going to replace this whole saddle unit here. I'm holding on the controller with a bungee cord, so I'm going to have to take that off first. Now let's just see how this mounts, because I know there are 2 extra holes here. And yeah, need to take these plugs out. That will go on something like that, so let's put some nuts through just to hold it in place. One day I'll probably try and get locking nuts on here because they have got like a little grip pattern, but yeah, that's not going to be as good as a proper locking nut. And there it is. Now I'm just going to stand back. Oh baby, that is taking on a whole new level. I'm going to put the side panels on and that will look like a proper motorbike now. Okay, so it's all on. Now one thing just to note is that there are some nuts at the back here which actually hold the seat onto this frame. I had to tighten them up because it was all wobbling around a bit. So I'm guessing that means you could change out this top bit for a seat if you didn't like it. And if you just come underneath, you can see there's some more mounting points there with the nuts and then again at the back. And it all feels rock solid. The seat, it feels a little bit scratchy, but when you sit on it, it's really cushiony. So I think that'll be fine. Have to put it to the test when it's all done and I can actually ride it. And then again, this is where I would attach the rear light and all that stuff. But especially with that black side panel, wow, that is definitely getting the looks. Love it. So at this point I was just painting some brackets for the indicators so they blend into the frame, and hopefully with the indicators they can be mounted to something like that, just with a bit of blue tack at the moment. But yeah, that's how they sort of were before. Now one really annoying thing with these indicators is that according to the DVLA they have to be 18 centimeters apart, and on here they're 16 centimeters apart. So I might have to make some like extender things. So this has just come in today. This is a rear shock. This is the Suntour Air one, which is going to be a big upgrade from the coil shock in there. It's got things like lockout, and obviously you can adjust the air pressure and rebound and that sort of stuff. I thought it was going to be bigger, but let's just get it on the bike and see how much compression and see how it works really. It's got a little bit of dust on it. Now this is a used one, but it was at a cracking price. So yeah, I'll clean it up and then I'll show you how I'm going to put it on. Now this is going to be quite hard because obviously this is kind of holding the whole of the back of the bike up. So I'm probably going to have to take it out, put something on here to support it, or just swap it straight out. But obviously first task is to take the old shock out. Bolt 1. Right, so I'm going to try to see if I knock a bolt out, does the whole thing just collapse? Or actually I could just use the screwdriver, can't I? And onto the screwdriver. Right, now the way this is going to be installed is that the bulge bit goes towards the top, and then the piston goes towards the bottom. Now I'm going to angle it out this way so that the lock and whatever, the air inlet are easily accessible rather than having them back like that, and they'll probably hit the frame anyway. Now an interesting feature of this is that the air inlet valve can actually rotate. You have to take all the air out, and I don't actually have a special pump for this, which is why I'm going to try and not take too much air out. So that'll be something I need to get. There we go. There we go. Rear shock out. Oh, you're joking. Oh, you're joking. Did these bits come out? Now another reason to believe, I don't know what this is, whether it's cut off from the old bike, but I've just noticed that's the same the other end. That's weird. An idea I've seen online in order to try and get, I think these are called reducers out because they reduce the size. Then you've got bushings which help with the rotation, smooth everything out. Now I've no idea if this is going to work. If it makes it into the video and there are no swearing after this, you'll probably realise that it had worked. So basically I've got a socket which is larger than the reducer, and then I've got a socket that's the same size. I'm going to try and push it and see if I can push it out, and I'm going to wear goggles to look like I'm completely not an idiot. No, it's 2, just in case anything flies off.
Oh no, that's moving, that's definitely moving.
Yeah, that worked. Ah, brilliant. And hopefully I can just put the one from my old bike straight on, because that was very easy to take off. Let's hit the end again. But you can see it's definitely working, it's just pushing it out. Okay, let's try again. There we go. There we go. 1, whatever that is. On this one, I've obviously got to be very careful not to crush the shock in any way. So I'm just going to start doing it and see whether it's going to... So again, as you can see, that's pushing that through. Is that going to fit in there? No, it's not. So I just need to find a longer substitute for this. There we go. Is that through? Yes, done. So after all of that, I now have much bigger spaces to work with. At the end, these are the spaces that were in there. They're one for the top and one for the bottom. That's a gasket. And these are where the washers and all the stuff being kept. So this is one off the old one. So I'm going to see how well these fit and take it from there really. That is, as you can, that's got a bit of play, which is not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So let's just see. So with that on, there was a small amount of play. So I'm going to put the other one on, so there's a bit of play there and a bit of play there. Okay, so now I finally have the shock, and it's going to fit in, of course, because it's the same fittings. Now let me just think. It's going in this way with the valve facing out, isn't it? There we go. Now the big test. What the heck's going to happen when I sit on it? It certainly works. So that's how much sag there is. It's virtually more than half the travel, which is not really what you want. You want it to be about 25% to about there. That does feel very nice and plush. So let's just, if we just lock it out. Yeah, that's nice and firm. And that feels like it's going to cushion bumps really well actually. So obviously there's lockout, which I've just shown works. Now this is the rebound, I believe. So I think it's on the fastest at the moment, so yeah. So I'll just give you a view of the shock. So far we've got the new seat installed, which is really good, and the new suspension installed, which is also good. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing next on this, possibly the brakes at the front and the back, but who knows. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.